Okay, let's get started, guys. Please take your seats. Yes, welcome everyone to this Nordic Ukraine Advocacy Summit. My name is Max. I will be your host, at least for the first part of the day. Hope you all had nice travels and arrived safely and like your hotel and the breakfast therein. This is the third Nordic Ukraine Advocacy Summit, which brings all Ukraine advocacy organizations in the Nordics and Baltics. And this year we have 34 Ukrainian organizations from these regions and Ukraine. So a little bit about the goals of the summit. So this is of course a meeting point for such advocacy organizations for Ukraine cause in the region to coordinate the joint work, first of all. Then we, of course, will get a lot of input and inspiration from our invited experts. We also aim a little bit to inform the local Norwegian public about the situation in Ukraine and potential needs that Ukraine has. We also want to highlight the significance of Ukraine in the European security and also highlight the destructive role of Russia in the global security. So, this is the agenda for today. So, we will have some opening words from organizers and invited distinguished guests, which will be followed by panel discussions. Then we'll have some light lunch together in the room there on the left from my side. This will be followed by another round of panel discussions, and then we will have a coffee break again in the same place. After that, the last panel discussion, and we will finish the day roughly at 3:10. After that, we will go together to visit Oslo City Hall. And after that, there, by the way, we will meet some local politicians. So it's not just a sightseeing, but a more important visit than that. After that, there is an optional attendance of the Ukrainian demonstration organized by the Ukrainian Association in Norway near the parliament. Or alternatively, you can spend some time together. And then there will be some evening activities for the registered participants. Then tomorrow we will have a second day, which will be in a different location. Keep in mind that it will be in Literaturhus. We will have some panel discussion in the morning. The whole day will be much more focused on the work of Ukrainian civil society organizations. So all the speakers and guests are welcome to join, but it's not mandatory. It will be much more focused on the work between the organizations. So we will have rounds of workshops and a cybersecurity training provided by Semaphore Consulting Partners. So, some practical information. The toilets are there on the right side from myself. If you go downstairs near the wardrobe, I will ask you in the break that will follow, there will be a list of attendance, which is a mandatory thing by our sponsor, Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung, to just go there and sign it, because this is a part of the bureaucracy of the funding that we received. There will be a volunteer helping you with that. The emergency exits, you have one on the left and to the left there, and another one here, and the main exit is on that side. Wi-Fi, you have the details and the password. Then there are some notebooks for you if you want to take some notes. They are available in the room back there. We will have a lunch at 12, just in that room as mentioned, and there will be a coffee break at 2. And that one we will ask you to do very quick, not just as we did in the beginning of the day, because we will have a group photo and that requires a lot of coordination. So we will ask you for collaboration. So please take your coffee quickly and then we meet for a coffee. Somewhere here we will try to then organize you in a nice setup. We will finish the panels around 3 and we'll go together to the city hall, as I mentioned. That again requires a little bit of timing because there is a metal detector procedure that we need to go through in order to get in there. So we will ask you to have a very short toilet break and then meet outside and go together in one group to the city hall. Yeah, then there will be an option to join us for a demonstration after that, but then we will be all there and we can just go together to that demonstration. Some emergency contact information here. So we have Natalia and Yulia from the local hosts. We have myself, Max, and we have Vasil from the Finnish organization, another organizer of this event. If you prefer to not have your pictures, then please let one of us know. So we can manage that. And of course, please do share your photos and stories about this event in Instagram, Twitter, and other platforms. Then we have a hashtag for you, hashtag NUAS2025. And then, of course, tag along us, our organizations, with this. We have our handles mentioned there. Yeah, finally, all this information that you will hear today, please use that as an inspiration for the work that we will be doing tomorrow. This is primarily related to the Ukrainian civil society organizations attending. Okay, now it's time to have some opening speeches. And first of all, I would like to invite to the stage His Excellency Ambassador of Ukraine to Norway, Mr. Oleksiy Havrish. Please.
Good morning. Good morning, dear hosts, guests, participants of this Nordic Ukraine Advocacy Summit. Unfortunately, I have to start with not common welcome, because today was a very difficult night in Ukraine. Many missiles and drones destroyed Ukraine tonight. Many people died and were injured. Russian aggression and terrorism should not go unpunished and without responsibility. We should not be silent about this, especially today. Today is a day of Ukrainian journalism. So I want to thank everyone who defends the truth, democracy, and our country with the words as weapons. Do not be silent, because light will defeat darkness, always. So I know a lot of Ukrainian journalists here. Congratulations. On behalf of Ukrainians, I express my gratitude for your participation and concern for the fate of my country. This summit is not just a meeting of like-minded people. It's a powerful platform for united efforts, changing experience and development joint strategies for further support of Ukraine. Each of you present in this hall is an important ambassador for the Ukrainian cause, and your dedication and active stance are invaluable. More than 3 years have passed since Russia launched a full-scale war against Ukraine. 3 years that have changed the world, but have not broken the spirit of Ukrainian people. We continue to fight for our freedom, sovereignty, territorial integrity, defending not only our land, but also common European values: democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. We managed to stand firm thanks to the incredible courage of our defenders and resilience of our people, and no less importantly, thanks to powerful international support, especially of Norway. Thank you. Norway, like other Nordic countries, has been provided us with significant assistance since the first day of war, financial, military, humanitarian, and we are sincerely grateful for your every action, for every decision that bring us closer to our common victory. However, the war continues, and the challenges we face remain extremely serious. We need your continued support to strengthen our defense capabilities, to rebuild destroyed cities and infrastructure, and to help missions of Ukrainians affected by the war. Today, this forum gives us a unique opportunity to discuss the most pressing issues. How can we strengthen sanction pressure on aggressor? What new mechanism can we introduce to hold Russia accountable for its crimes? How can we ensure lasting peace and security in the region? And of course, how can we strengthen our ties and create new alliance for a common struggle? I believe that our joint work at this summit will bring concrete results. Your knowledge, your experience, and your energy are the driving force that will help us achieve our goals. Thank you for your attention and for your support. And may this summit will be successful. And I'm a big fan of the book, Lord of the Rings. And one of the main character, the wizard named Gandalf, say the most darkly part of the night before the dawn. Thank you for all Nordic to help us be strong during this long, cold, and dark night. And I hope we'll welcome the dawn of victory, our victory together with you. Thank you. Tusen tack.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Now I would like to invite to the stage Juliane Ferskau, Vice Mayor for Local Services in Oslo. Please.
Thank you so much. Dear friends and allies, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Norway and to Oslo. And on behalf of our governing mayor, I would also like to extend his warm welcome. About right now, he is arriving in Kiev in cooperation with the Eurocities. I'm deeply grateful to and proud to have been asked to open this conference on behalf of the city of Oslo. In Oslo, we quickly realized in February 2022 how crucial the Ukrainian associations are. They provide help displaced Ukrainians who have questions and need guidance. They build bridges between Ukrainians and Norwegians, and between Ukrainian interests in Norwegian systems. They also help carry out vital aid and work. They have collected and sent equipment and food to the front lines into the Ukraine where it is needed. It is an endeavor Ukraine for Ukrainians. That the association also form alliance across national borders, like you do here today, is both important and smart. To those of you who have initiated and operated associations in the Nordic and Baltic countries to support Ukraine and Ukrainians, I would like to say the following. People like you make a difference. You are individuals with immense dedication, and fighting character and hope. I imagine you often experience strong frustration and mourning times. Through your determination, you do something good, something that matters. You have come together and you have brought many people together. I believe you make Ukrainians stronger. Norway has received over 90,000 displaced people from Ukraine since February 2022, and Oslo have welcomed approximately 4,500 displaced people from Ukraine. And our support to Ukraine is unwavering. As a municipality, our task is to provide the residents of Oslo with the services they need to live safe and fulfilling lives. The most important thing we as a municipality can do to support Ukraine is to be a safe haven for Ukrainians who need to leave their homeland. And Oslo aims to be a safe haven today and for as long as it is needed to be. We will continue to be close allies with our sister city in Kiev. Through joint progress projects and financial support, we build networks and foster mutual understanding. We also have cooperation with Lviv, a city similar in size to Oslo. This collaboration is very meaningful to us. Every day since February 2022, Ukrainians in Oslo have gathered in front of the Norwegian Parliament, Stortinget, and held speeches. And it is deeply touching to see the blue and yellow flags being held up with faithfully and proud, right in Oslo's main street, every day, in snow, in wind, in rain, and in sun, on days with good news and on days with bad news. I admire Ukrainians' resilience and strength. Oslo stands with Ukraine in this fight. I wish you all the best with this conference and with your continued work and cooperation. Slava Ukraini!
Thank you very much, Ms. Ferskau. Now I'd like to say a couple of words about the previous summits that we had in 2003 and 2004. So the first ever Nordic Ukraine Advocacy Summit was held in 2023 in Stockholm. Basically, it started with an idea that we, Nordic Ukraine Forum, civil society organization based in Stockholm, Sweden, decided to just invite other similar organizations from all over the Nordics to just meet up and introduce oneself to each other and basically, get to know each other and extend our network. We managed to get some funding from our friends at Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung Nordics, and we held a relatively small conference. But then this grew a little bit more, and last year we held a larger event in Helsinki together with the Ukrainian Association in Finland, again with the sponsorship of Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung, with a much more focused agenda towards the Ukrainian victory and coordination of actions of our organizations in the Nordics prior to the European election. And this brings us to this year's Nordic Ukraine Advocacy Summit, which is organized jointly by us, Nordic Ukraine Forum, Stockholm, Sweden, Ukrainian Association in Finland, in Helsinki, and Ukrainian Association in Norway, from Oslo. Also with the sponsorship from 4 donors. So this time it's again Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung Nordics, but we also have parts funded by Swedish Institute, the city of Oslo, and Fritt Ord Foundation. So now I would like to welcome our heads of organizations to give their welcoming speeches. We will start with Alina Zubkovic, chairwoman of the board at the Nordic Ukraine Forum. Please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and friends. I'm deeply honored to welcome you to our 3rd summit. And indeed, as Max mentioned, we are growing. And I'm so happy that the idea that Ukraine and Nordics are together is finding its heart through you. Because as we were organized as an organization a decade ago, we knew already that Ukraine needs Nordics. Ukraine needs all the best practices, democracy, everything. But also with a large-scale invasion, it became clear that Nordics and Baltic region need Ukraine's creativity and many more things that Ukrainians demonstrate today. So I would like, first of all, to thank you all for coming, to all our partners. So good that we are being supported, that we are being growing, and we are already looking forward for the discussions that will take place today, tomorrow. I hope that you will have the very insightful time here, and it will help you and boost your energy to do more, to advocate and help Ukraine to have the victory in this war and build very strong bridges between Nordic, Baltic region and Ukraine. And also, I would like to thank our partners, so the association, Ukrainian Association of Finland, Ukrainian Association of Norway, who are the fantastic partners, and we are so happy to work with you. To all our sponsors, all our partners. Also, last but not least, I would like to thank Max Girnik, Alex Panko for their organization, all the things that they have done thoroughly to host us here today, so that we have our summit all together for the entire day with all the discussion that are forthcoming. So now the floor is yours, the discussions are for you, and I would like to once again welcome you and thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Alina. And of course, the thanks extends to all the collaborators that we had and the associations that we collaborate with. So next, I would like to invite to the stage Vasil Hutsul, chairman of the board of the Ukrainian Association in Finland. Please.
Good morning. It's really nice that this small meeting, which was in Stockholm in 2023, as you see, converted in this level. I'm really happy to be involved in this process. Thank you, Alina, Max, Maxim, and team which were together with us. I would like to say a few words about our modest Ukrainian Association in Finland. We were established in 1997, and we started to be very active beginning from 2014, as you know, because our army was empty. And we put a lot of efforts to start to support army in Ukraine. Of course, 2022, February 24, for us it was explosion. We started to work. Next day, we opened already logistics center, and I need to underline activity, how active was Finnish society. During beginning of March, 3 days, we had in our logistics center more than 500 Finns who came and bring something, unpack, sort, pack back, and we have delivered it to Ukraine. This is unbelievable. Non-stop cars come and go. About humanitarian aid, we have succeeded to build one nice platform. Its name is autoukraina.fi. Help Ukraine. And this is not simply application that you can open this application on your computer, on your phone. This system of agreements with logistic companies. It means that any grandma in far away in close to Rovaniemi, famous city, can go open this application, see what is actual today for Ukraine, and go to the shop, buy, and go to the nearest post office. And this small package from this old lady will come to our logistics center. After that, we open it, again, sort, pack, and send to Ukraine. 78 big trucks already in Ukraine from us, plus more than 150 special, how to call them, cars already also in Ukraine. They are taking care about, they help to paramedics and some special tasks. Let me continue more about this humanitarian aid. Refugees. As you know, we have now in Finland more than 60,000. It was close to 90,000, but anyway, this is going to go down. And we have a nice, I can say as it is, nice help center, 1,300 square meters on one floor, 1,300 square meters on another floor. And we have a lot of different activities there. First of all, it's very important that we support refugees who came to Finland without English, Finnish, without any knowledge about Western world. And we provide support for them. We have very nice statistic. Approximately close to 95,000 visits we have from March 2022 up to March 2025. Of course, I can continue about the Ukrainian Association in Finland long time, much more longer. But anyway, once again, I would like to say a few words about the near future of this nice event, NUAS. I suppose that in the near future we need to be more focused. Next year, maybe next 2 years, we need to be more focused on Ukrainians who are here in Nordic countries. This is a real problem with these people. And I suppose that we need to discuss tomorrow also this topic. Again, thank you very much. You came here and let's work. Slava Ukraini!
Thank you very much, Vasil. And also now I would like to give a word to Natalia Ravn-Christensen, chairwoman of the board at the Ukrainian Association in Norway. Please, Natalia.
When we observe the geopolitical trends in the world, for example, in the White House, we have learned lessons. We should never start an event without saying thank you. We have sent maybe, I don't have statistics, but we have sent maybe 25 times. But I have learned a lesson also, so I will need to say thank you to all the audience who came, to all the speakers, they are doing free of charge, to our sponsors who pay the expenses, and especially to our core organizations who, we thank you for your ambition. We wouldn't start it. And it was really a pleasure cooperation. And of course, you cannot make advocacy for Ukraine if you are not starting to make advocacy for your own organization. So I will, of course, promote a little bit our Ukrainian Association in Norway. We are a little bit younger than you. We are working from 2004. We are the biggest organization and the largest organization in Norway. And we are doing pretty much the same. We are like in other countries, Ukrainians in other countries, and Ukrainians in other towns in Norway. So we are organized Ukrainian culture events, so it's like practice and culture advocacy. We run a wonderful Ukrainian Sunday school. We organize an amazing summer camp. We are very often in the media. We are actually the largest organization in Norway that are sending humanitarian aid to Ukraine. So 70 there, have 130 here, semi-trailers. We have sent 130 semi-trailers, like big cars with 85 cubic meters, full with humanitarian aid to Ukraine, besides other small cars.
and we send almost rehabilitation equipment. And once again, it's not possible if we didn't get help from Norwegian organization. We are really grateful to Oslo kommune who makes it possible. And maybe it's too much, but I need to say thank you to everybody who support us and to donate, private companies and for the state organization who donate to Ukraine, and we send it. But there is one thing, and I thank you, Julia, for telling us, there's one thing that we do that nobody else does. We hold daily demonstration in front of Parliament every single day. We live in Norway. Juliana, you are right. It can be dark, it can be cold, it can be -25, it can be heavy raining, storms, but we are there every day. And it is our way of doing advocacy for Ukraine, or at least part of it. We stand with our Ukrainian flags, and we have become a symbol of a town, like a picture of the town. And we talk to politicians, they come out from the parliament, and they say, okay, we are listening, the Ukrainians are singing their national anthems. We know that it is 5 o'clock. So they check their watches with our demonstrations. And we make sure that politicians who go home, they are reminded every day that the Russian-Ukrainian war is not over, that people are dying in Ukraine. I don't know whether you have noticed, but when you got invitation first time, that was written that we are going to meet in Nobel Peace Center. We booked this location for months ago, but we have changed our mind. So we moved to Oslo Military Society, which is a little bigger location. So from Nobel Peace Center to Oslo Military Society. Isn't it symbolic? Ukrainians, more than anybody else, want peace in Ukraine. But most of the Ukrainians do really not believe in current peace negotiation. We need to be to admit it. We believe that we must to support our Ukrainian military until Ukraine wins the war and until Russia is held responsible for what they have done in Ukraine. We believe that we must support military. And we know that without justice, there will never be a lasting peace. And that what we explain to our Norwegians every day during our demonstration. So today at 5 o'clock, we invite all of you to come to in front of Parliament. It might be heavy rain today, but I hope as many as possible of you will come anyway. But before that, we want really to welcome you to this conference, summit, and we hope it will be meaningful. And we hope that it will bring us one step closer to Ukrainian victory. Slava Ukraini!
Thank you very much, Natalia, Vasil, and Alina. So next we have a special message from President of the Ukrainian World Congress, Paul Groth, and it is a recorded message. I will put it in.
Vitayo, ladies and gentlemen, friends of Ukraine. When I last visited the Nordic countries a few months ago, I arrived with a heavy heart, but left with a full one. At a time when the US commitment to Ukraine's victory was less than certain, The Nordic nations stood tall. You were firm, principled, and unshakable. I witnessed firsthand and can say this clearly. The governments and civil societies of Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and Finland have shown the world what moral clarity looks like. And the volunteers, the everyday heroes who give their time, their money, and their hearts to Ukraine, you are the soul of this movement. Thank you. I speak to you today as president of the Ukrainian World Congress, representing the interests of over 25 million Ukrainians in more than 80 countries. We are not a diaspora. We are a global force. And we are united in one mission. Ukraine must win, and Russia must be defeated. Let me also thank the Nordic Ukraine Forum, the Ukrainian Association of Finland, the Ukrainian Association in Norway, and all partners in this impactful Nordic Ukraine Advocacy Summit. Your leadership and tireless advocacy are incredible. The Ukrainian World Congress is honored to be your partner. You've been the lighthouse in the storm, guiding policy, shaping opinion, and reminding the world that Ukraine is not a problem to be managed. It is the solution to Europe's long-term security. Let me be blunt. Without a Ukrainian victory and Russian defeat, there is no peace in Europe. There is no security. There is no future. And no, we cannot go back to normal with Russia. Normal is what got us here. Normal is what allowed Russian oligarchs acting for the Kremlin to corrupt European politicians and entrench disinformation into the mainstream media. It allowed Russian war criminals to believe they could get away with murder and genocide. That era is over. Russia must be held accountable for the war crimes, for the stolen children, for the shattered cities, for the millions displaced. Justice is not optional. It is the foundation of peace, and peace must be built on justice, not on compromise. Some say demilitarizing Russia is a fantasy. I say, so was the fall of the Berlin Wall and disintegration of the Soviet Union. So was a Jewish president leading Ukraine in wartime. So was the idea that a nation armed with tractors and courage could stop the second largest army in the world. And yet, here we are. For over 3 years, Ukraine has stood its ground against the Russian Red Army that only 80 years ago rolled across Europe into Berlin and subjugated a large part of Europe for half a century. But the Ukrainian people could not accomplish this amazing defense without you, and without its international allies that have provided Ukraine with the military, economic, and political support to stand up to the biggest modern threat to European security. To our Nordic allies, your support has been extraordinary, but extraordinary times demand even more. We need deeper military aid, stronger sanctions, louder voices in NATO and the EU, and zero tolerance for Russian disinformation. We need you to keep the pressure on. Until Ukraine is victorious, Russia is defeated, and Europe is safe. And to the Ukrainian communities across the North, this is your moment. Organize, mobilize, collaborate. Whether in Oslo, Helsinki, Stockholm, or Copenhagen, your voices matter. Your work matters. Your unity matters. Allow me to end with the phrase that has become our rallying cry and our inspiration. What was once impossible is now possible. Ukraine has proven it. Now let's finish the job. Slava Ukraini!
All right, that was great. And then just before we go for the first break, yet another recorded message. This time it is from Anders Fogh Rasmussen, former Prime Minister of Denmark and former Secretary General of NATO.
Friends and colleagues, it's a privilege to welcome you, albeit virtually, to the third Nordic Ukraine Advocacy Summit in Oslo. This summit is more than a meeting. It is a test of our resolve. The fight for Ukrainian democracy is also a fight for our own. Across the Nordics, civil society has done vital work. You have kept Ukraine's voice alive in parliaments, in the media, and in the minds of our citizens. By working together, we not only support Ukraine, we defend democracy in Europe. With Finland and Sweden in NATO, we can act together. We can pool our resources to finance Ukraine's defense industry directly. The Danish model showed what can be done. Denmark, Sweden, Iceland, Norway, and frozen Russian assets helped fund drones, howitzers, and missiles made in Ukraine. The recent Ukrainian strikes deep inside Russia show what is possible. When Ukraine has the tools, it acts quickly and effectively. That is why we must do more in a joint effort. More funding, faster results. This is not just about helping Ukraine. It is also about preparing our own defenses. Ukraine's battlefield innovation can help us deter future threats. Let us act with purpose. Let us act together. And let us make sure that today and tomorrow we stand shoulder to shoulder in defense of freedom. I wish you a successful summit. Slava Ukraini.
Right, now we have time for a first break. Just to remind you that Alex has a list with for signatures, attendance list. Please go to him and sign. He will be in the coffee area. And please be back at 10 sharp.